This is MacVoices TV. MacVoices TV is brought to you by St. Clair Software, the makers of Default Folder and History Hound. Visit them at stclairsoft.com. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is MacVoices TV at Macworld Conference and Expo. We're in the Telestream booth talking to Barb DeHart, the Vice President of Marketing, now the Vice President of Marketing, a new title since the last time we talked.
Yes, it is.
It's good to have you, Barb. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for coming to see us.
Okay, so the last time we talked, Telestream was doing a lot of really interesting things. You've done even more interesting things since then. The one that sticks out in my mind, or the two I should say, is the acquisition of ScreenFlow, something that is important to so many of us who create online content, but also the fact that Flip for Mac has become, it's no longer just a utility for the Mac, it's almost an essential for the Mac for video. So let's talk about both of those first.
So we have done a lot of exciting things. Our acquisition of Vara Software last year, based out of the UK, with them came not only some great developers for both Mac and Windows, but some great products. ScreenFlow is the one you mentioned and is really popular and well known in the Mac community. It is a screen capture application that allows you to really create fantastic screen flows. You can share your message whether it's a presentation or teaching people how to use software, or even for things like testing, quality testing of software. There are lots of different ways that the product is used, and we're very excited to have it be part of the Telestream family. Wirecast is another product that came to us with the Vara acquisition, which is a live webcasting application, production application, and another one that's really well known in the Apple community. And then finally, our Flip for Mac business. Well, you know, Flip for Mac just continues to grow and grow and grow. We're not sure. We've got somewhere over 20 million downloads, might be closer to 30 million now. It really is a standard part of everyone's Apple Mac, and we're just thrilled about that. We have a great user community, and it's really becoming a very important part of our business.
And Flip for Mac is interesting because there are a lot of different levels for Flip for Mac. Most of our listeners are going to be familiar with the free download that increases QuickTime compatibility with so many other video formats. But talk a little bit about the depth that is there for some of the more advanced products.
Well, we start by keeping it simple. As you mentioned, most people use the free player that enables Windows Media playback and lots of different Windows Media variants playback inside QuickTime applications, and then you can turn on additional features. You can add the ability to import those files so you can convert them to other QuickTime formats, and then you can also add different levels of export capabilities. We have a simple preset model, which is a great way to get started, and then you can upgrade to add custom profile settings, and then finally the HD version, which adds a lot of course, the HD frame sizes and resolutions, and some more additional things that you can do. So we try to tailor the offerings to really what people need, and they can start small, they can add a feature here and there, and then they can grow it over time.
Okay, so we started with those two, but this is only the start of the Telestream story and what it's becoming. Talk about some of the other things that you've got going, because there are a lot of them.
There are, and certainly here at Macworld, one of the things that we're talking about is Episode, and our Episode product family is a scalable encoding application for the Mac platform. It scales from the desktop all the way up to really multi-server clusters that can handle just very, very, very high volumes of content. So we've got some new stuff we're showing here at the show around Episode. I'm very excited about that. And then, of course, Telestream has products that serve broadcasters in the post-production industry at very high enterprise level workflows as well. So we really cover the gamut when it comes to digital media workflows.
And that's what intrigues me about Telestream. Most organizations we talk to at Expo sort of target one part of the market, consumer, mid-level, pro. There might be some spillover, but you go from the very, very useful free download that everybody has to have up to something that broadcast professionals are only going to use, that the rest of us never will ever even hear about. How do you manage that breadth of a product range?
Well, the nice part is that the technology that underlies the really the implementation of a codec inside QuickTime conceptually isn't all that different from a product that allows you to decode and encode many different types of formats. So really that is at the heart of what Telestream does, and we try to look at ways that we can extend formats, provide additional format supports, and really the bottom line is how can we improve people's workflows, whether it's adding QuickTime support or adding Windows Media support for QuickTime, or really developing a full-blown application to do a much broader workflow.
Talk to us about the drive-in product a little more, because you described that as an encoding solution that goes sort of from top to bottom. How are most of our listeners going to use that if they pick it up?
The great thing about Drive-In is that it's a little application that can sit on a Mac Mini in someone's home and gives you a mechanism for actually storing all of your DVDs, your entire DVD library on your Mac. It's become very popular for that reason, as well as people who want to actually just take a movie, watch it on their laptop on an airplane or something like that. You can actually store movies on your laptop as well. And really the playback experience, you get the entire movie, you get all the additional features in a movie. We make an exact replication. We do limit, within the application we limit so that you can't actually share that with a bunch of friends, so the movies are still secure when they're on your system. But it allows you to store your movies, play them back, whether it be on your home theater system or really on a laptop, getting better battery life, better playback experience.
That's great. That's great. It's just one more example of how you take a product and spread it across the whole spectrum.
Yeah, we do, and that's where we continue to look at areas where, when it comes to digital video, what can we do to help users, overall user experience, you know.
Well, I'm looking forward to see what happens next, because I know it'll be interesting and useful as well.
Well, thank you. We've got some exciting things planned this year, so keep in touch.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time, Barb.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices TV at Macworld Conference and Expo. We'll be back again very soon. Thanks for watching. MacVoices TV is brought to you by St. Clair Software, the makers of Default Folder and History Hound. Visit them at stclairsoft.com. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.